Welcome back to JBs Screaming REALS. Well, the year has flown in and soon we will be back into the whiting and cod season. I'm going to show you how to make up 2 rigs for the whiting and for the cod. What you're going to need for these rigs, you're going to need some shock leader, some line, crimps, swivels and clips, swivels, beads, hook clip, hooks and some booms. These are going to make the 2 rigs. The first rig is going to be an up and over rig. That's going to be for cod. And the second rig is going to be the booms for the whiting. But I have caught cod on these whiting rigs. So right, let's get ready and start making the first rig. Right, the first rig we're going to make is the up and over. So there's Mrs. Oh, and I forgot to say, we need the weight. Right, first thing to get is some of your shock leader. I've got £50 shock leader. You want to take about, say about 2 foot. Snip it off, about 2 foot. First thing to put on is your swivel. So this can connect to your main line. So I usually do a little, put it through the hoop, 6 turns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Push it through the loop and get it with your teeth if you can. Bit of lubrication and then just pull it tight. So now that end is going to connect to your main line. Just cut that little tab off. Now what we're going to need now is a crimp. Get it fitted together. Should have got these up before. There we go. Right. Put a crimp on. Now it won't go on. Just try cutting your line on a bit of an angle, and then we'll try again. A bit fiddly, these are small. Put on your crimp. There you go. Put a crimp on. Then get one of your beads. Put your bead on. Then you want to put your hook on and make sure the hook's facing upwards towards your swivel. Put that on straight through. Then you need, I've missed a hole. No, I haven't. Then you need your rubber you get some rubbers that come with these hoop clips. Okay. And then push that over you, so that's nice and firm. Right, so now you can move that up and down. Don't worry about your crimp at the moment. Push that on. Then what you want is another bead, and then your crimp. Come on, little solid fiddly. Put your there we go. So what you've got your swivel, you've got crimp, bead, your clip. Don't crimp these up yet, leave them loose. Right, now what you want now is another bead, what we need is now another crimp. Put your crimp on. It's a bit fiddly, like, get it right. Now you want to put that about 6 inches. Now we can crimp that. Followed by a bead. My eyes aren't the best. Followed by a bead. Then swivel. Then another bead. And then another crimp. Another crimp. Lock pretty tight, and then we can crimp that. There. You got your clip, and you got your swivel for the main line. Now, what we're going to do, this swivel is to take your hook length. On the end of this one, you want to put a swivel clip. This is for your weight. So thread in, usual knot, 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put it through the loop. A little lubrication. Tight. Nice and tight. And then clip off tag end. Now before you put your hook length on, we need to find somewhere to secure this end, and then I'll show you where this weight comes in useful. Right, I'm using the fridge door, little knot, just to tie it on. Then we need to get some line for our hook line. But don't forget we're going up and over. Clip your weight on. So what we want, shoot that over just to get an idea how much line we want. So we want about roughly about a metre. Let's just cut this off. Right, so now I'm going to tie this line to the swivel. Usual knot. So we put this through our swivel. Usual knot, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Go through the loop. Bit of lubrication. Pull tight. Now, these we haven't clipped this yet. Now we've done that. The reason we haven't crimped this yet is because I'm going to put that out, put it over. You can adjust this now to where you want it. Now don't forget, your hook is going to clip into here. So we grab our hooks. It's going to be a panel rig. So we put our first hook on. Just leave that hanging, and then the second hook on. You can just tie this, because we know we've got our adjustment on here, so we don't have to worry. Right, we've just tied our second hook on. So now this is where this adjustment comes in handy. We just, so that goes on the, clip it onto your weight, clip it onto your weight. So see where it's a bit slack. So now you can adjust that up to the right tension. Now it's adjusted up. What you can do is set these crimps now. So slide your crimp up to the clip. Crimp it. So now make sure it's all nice and tight, and then set your second crimp. Right, now we've made our rig. The best way to bait this up, you're targeting cod. Now the cod's murky, so the fish rely on scent. So you need 3 lug worm or 3 blow lug. You hook your first worm on, then a slither of squid, then another lugworm, another slit of squid, another lugworm. So you want to use 3 worms. And at the end, I normally put the squid's head on at the end. And that's the perfect cod rig. Now we're going to look at making the whiting rig. Now for the whiting rig, again, take our £50 shop leader. Again, we want about 2 foot, 2.5 foot. Snip it off. The top. Top, we want to swivel so our main line can clip on. You know the knots by now. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 through the loop. Snip off the tag end. Now we're using these booms, French booms I think they're called. So first we want our crimp. Crimp. Now this is a bit awkward getting on, so again what we do is put the scissors on an angle, flip it, and they're very, very fiddly. Thread it through. Right, so it goes on a lot easier now. So you have your crimp, you want a bead, you want your French boom, and then repeat the process again, but in the opposite direction. So you want the bead, it's a bit fiddly, bead. Right, do your crimp about 3 or 4 inches from the swivel that's going to go to your main line. Crimp that. Then crimp the bottom one. So now you got your first boom attached. Now repeat that process another 2 times, leaving a gap about 10 inches apart from the next one. Now once we've repeated that process 3 times, now we're going to put our clip swivel on for the weight. Put this on, usual 6 times. So now there's our white rig.